Whenever Dubai is mentioned, one of the first things that comes to mind is its luxury. All over Dubai, tourists are greeted with beautiful scenery, magnificent buildings, walking wealth and splendor. However, despite all the riches available when it comes to the luxury watch industry, there's more than meets the eye. Sometimes not even your heaps of gold and riches untold would ever be enough for piping hot acquisitions. Take your feet up and relax as we dive right into all the hidden truths and unspoken rules of the Dubai luxury watch industry. The United Arab Emirates is known to be the hub of the incessant flow of cash and goods. However, one thing that wouldn't come to you so easily is its luxury timepieces. Given how the average watch is so tiny that it can even hide right under your sleeve shirts, do you find the complexity of getting one ironic? Getting a timepiece from top brands requires so much more than a simple swipe of your credit card, or throwing your cool cash on the counter if you want to be fancier. Rather, getting those acquisitions from the biggest brands in the horology world, like Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, Rolex, and even Richard Mille, would necessitate extensive research, constant chit-chat with or meetings with sales representatives, or even a significant number of walk-in visits to the stores. Do you want to know the funny part? Even if you want to execute all of the aforementioned tasks meticulously, you still wouldn't have a guaranteed success in your quest to pick up your desired model. The competition in Dubai's luxury watch industry is so fierce. Did you know that Ahmed Siddiqui & Sons is the only authorized Rolex distributor throughout Dubai? They also run the biggest Rolex store you can ever find on earth. Swiss watches are becoming so popular in the nation. According to the Federation of the Swiss Watch Industry, by the value of exports, in October, the value of Swiss luxury watches in the United Arab Emirates had exponential growth. It was 13.8% higher than how it was at the same time last year. Guys, you see, at the very start of the global COVID pandemic, every physical store and shop got closed down due to the strict lockdown regulations. Money was flowing into everyone's pockets, but due to the lockdown, no one could spend it. It led to a problem. Everyone had their pockets burning and searching for a solution. However, that in turn led to the rise of online shopping. Soon, basically every online luxury shop had dramatic surges in traffic. Orders upon orders of luxury goods continually rolled in from bored, wealthy clients at home who didn't even know what to do with it, especially the rich, crypto kids. Soon, even people who completely knew nothing about luxury timepieces thirsted over the prospect of getting one just for the sole reason everyone else was buying them. Even Mohammed Siddiqui was in utter disbelief when he saw a customer wearing a shiny new Rolex Daytona model without even knowing the watch's functions. I was with a client a week ago and he was wearing a Rolex Daytona and he didn't know the function of the watch. It's not a matter of functionality, it's a matter of being hot. That's the only reason they want it. If you walk right into the Rolex stores in the United Arab Emirates, you'd be surprised to see most of the fascinating models in a case. However, there's a catch. They are simply there for show. It's strictly displays only. Have you ever wondered what happens when one of the ultra-rich and prominent members of the royal family in the United Arab Emirates wants a shiny new Rolex? You'd be forgiven to think that long waiting lists wouldn't apply to them. Rather, they can just walk right into the store and simply point, pay, and then walk away. However, this is not the case. You see, in some situations, even they have their hands tied. According to Mohammed Abdul Majid Siddiqui, the Chief Commercial Officer of Siddiqui Holding, owner of the retailer of Swiss watches in the United Arab Emirates, in the case where one of the royals is interested in getting a timepiece to add to their collection for personal use, the watch would be granted to them. However, in a situation where the reason they want a watch is perhaps for a gift to some of their elite friends or visitors, the company becomes more selective. Some people really take it personally, he says. We have to be fair to clients and make sure we give it to the right people. So, what about their practices for the average resident? For starters, the company has a strict waiting list policy for clients. For Rolex timepieces, the company limits its wait list to 4,000 clients only. However, for other luxury brands, the number is different. Patek Philippe, for example, which, as we already know, makes a significantly lesser amount of watches than Rolex per year, has a waiting list of only around 20 to 30 clients. When the timepieces do get available, though, the next phase begins. The watches are offered to clients based on interesting metrics and prior buying habits. Another thing we'd like to add is that the company also also tends to avoid offering a similar timepiece model to one the client had already recently purchased. Also, probably unlike most other nations where Rolex boutiques can be found in the world, in the United Arab Emirates, though, flipping is heavily discouraged. As a matter of fact, the moment you are found guilty of flipping, you'd almost immediately get dropped from the list, or worse, shadow banned. And here's the neat part, it definitely would get figured out. You see, according to Mohammed Siddiqui, he also has discovered quite a number of people, even filthy rich ones, who flip a timepiece for quite a significant amount of dollars in profits through his anonymous sources, which he acquired over his decades of experience in the luxury business, which transmit intel to him. So with all that being said, let's get back to those interesting metrics, shall we? For starters, the customers get closely studied. As we have already stated, the waiting lists for Rolex may be limited to only 4,000 names. But if you were a sales representative, how would you be able to carefully sieve out the names that span across several pages? While you flip through, you're constantly thinking, when we get a shipment, amongst all these names, who are the right options going to be? We can all agree it's a daunting task, right? And that's precisely why filtering the clients is so critical. So how does this filtering work? In some brands in other countries, for example, luxury and status symbols are usually the norms. Is the client coming out from a Lamborghini? Does he have the appearance of an affluent or wealthy person through his clothing? What kind of designer item is on his person? However, in Dubai, things are totally different. You see, even a billionaire may pull up to a store in an Uber taxi. Status symbols are completely unreliable. There, the salesman studies the client down to the last detail. They even monitor how you have your cup of tea. The Middle East Eye spoke to some luxury salesmen who pleaded to be anonymous, and here's what one of them said. If I see them having tea outside, I notice which hand they hold their cup with. Is it the one with the watch, so everyone can see it? They are so meticulous about the process because luxury timepieces can get flipped or sold on the secondary market twice or even thrice the amount it was originally bought for at retail, and of course, they don't want that. The salesman has to go the extra mile just to ensure the prospective buyer values and holds on to the watch instead of making the purchase just with the intention of flipping it later. If I see someone wearing the same watch over 2 or 3 years, then I know they value it. Also, another important metric that is often used is the relationship of the given customer to the sales associate. The customers who seem to have the more jovial and cordial relationship would always have the advantage compared to the more incognito client. While speaking to the Middle Eastern Eye, the anonymous sales associate reportedly turns to a 30-year-old customer of his, saying, "Look at him. He comes in and checks on me every time he's in the mall. He messages me, asking how I am and if we have anything new. So I would rather give it to him than someone I know who will turn around and sell it." And the tactic of building a relationship with the sales associate is such an important way for customers to get their desired watch. While speaking to the customer, he revealed that he got an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak offshore with a retail price of around $46,000 after only 2 years of building a cordial relationship with the salesman. Sometimes, hopeful clients buy a couple of lower-priced or less in-demand timepieces that they may have little interest in just to build on their buying history profile to be on the good books of the sales associates.